no matter how much career success that you get, you always feel there's two things that you feel. You feel like you're not much different than what you used to be. And then as well, you always feel like a fraud. I have never felt, and it's a sort of strange feeling, right? Like this imposter syndrome where you always feel like you're not quite there. And I sort of look around and I see a lot of people that, where I sort of stand and whatnot in life. And I think, the majority of us, I guess maybe not everybody, but, that there's a significant group of us that would probably sort of have the same experience where I personally never feel like I fit in, or that that I'm deserving of not necessarily deserving, yeah, because I know that is the case, that I am deserving of some things, but in the sense of like when you actually work on something and it actually comes together and creates something, you look at it and you're like, I didn't really do that, did I? And it's like this really strange experience. You get this a lot when you're writing, for example. I'll be writing along and then I'll write something and I'll put it up. And then 6 months later, I'll look at it and I'll be, two responses will be, man, that was really terrible. And then the other thing was like, man, actually, I think it was bang on with that. And, I think about that as I never quite feel like it's me who's done things. No matter what I've accomplished and what I've done, I don't quite feel like, it's not that I know I'm deserving, but I don't quite feel like this is something that I've actually done, or, sort of getting the reality of it, of what is going on. And it's just this like really strange feeling when you sort of reflect on it. It's like, I still, for me personally, I still feel like I'm, I guess in my mind, I'm still 20 years old, or 19 years old, and still trying to get to some place. And it's just like a really strange feeling with that. I just want to sort of document this. Now, part of me thinks that these feelings of, feeling like a fraud and all of that kind of stuff is, somehow problematic. But then, the other part of me really realizes that it keeps me humble. It sort of makes me remember that, that I'm not any sort of hot shot or anything like that. I'm just a regular dude, a regular person that's just doing what everybody else is doing. And I try to reflect on that in terms of, like, I'm no different than anybody else. And I know that some people might sort of view that in the wrong way when I'm saying this, but I'm not. I'm sort of thinking of, yes, I've learned a few things, and where I'm going in terms of what I've learned is pretty cool. But at the same time, I'm not any different than what I used to be, and who I used, the identity that I used to have in terms of where I am. I largely view myself as kind of this outsider in the sort of role that I'm in, and I don't think that I'm ever going to feel any different. And then when I go to see my family, and I'm going to feel like the same person. it's interesting. One thing that I've done, several times that I think is an interesting thing is I've got in my mind, like, I have not changed. There's not a lot different in who I am as an individual. But then I look at, I go onto Facebook and then I look at everybody else from my high school, and I think, man, things are so different, and things have come a long ways in terms of what's happened in my life and what's happened in their life. It's really striking when you see this, and that's the funny thing, is that, that there is some identity change, that there clearly is something going on, but it's like, it's like an outer body experience almost, where you think of yourself as, I think of myself as the 10-year-old boy from a long time ago, but then I look at this character that I play in terms of the roles that I have, and it's very much a character that I play, and depending on the character of being a dad, for example, which is weird in of itself, a character of being this professor, and a character of sort of being a professor from the student's view, as like, I am this person, but then I'm sort of from the colleagues of all the other people in terms of how they view me, I'm this kind of weird character. But to me, I don't feel any different. I am who I am, and things have not changed a lot. So that keeps me, I feel like it really keeps me humble, and it keeps me knowing where I am and what I'm about. I'm still gonna enjoy, like, no matter what happens in my life, I'm still gonna enjoy going for walks with my wife, or just going for walks by myself, or maybe I still enjoy just doing family things, and doing those kind of things. It's an important part of my life. Having breakfast on a Sunday morning with the family is a big thing, or doing chores around the house, and whatever it is that needs to be done, sweeping, or vacuuming, or whatever. I still enjoy those particular things, but largely who I am as an individual has not changed. I view myself very much so as somebody that is very much not worthy, in the sense that I'm in this weird position where there is, it's just acting, and it's not acting in the sense of I'm acting, I'm being myself, but I think everybody else is viewing me differently. And I think that's where the strange thing happens, is I think of me as this 10-year-old boy. Maybe I've learned a little bit along the way, but then everybody else sort of sees me in a completely different light. And that's a really strange reality. And I don't think that ever goes away. But you know who I am. If you're listening to this, you know who I am. That I'm just a pretty ordinary dude. And I largely just view myself as this person that is playing this role. And it's really strange now. I find it very strange when, say, for example, undergraduate students will view me as the mean professor and all that kind of stuff in this kind of weird way. And I'm like, I'm just myself, and I have not changed deep down inside. I used to think that I could change that and improve and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think that anymore. I think I am who I am, and I'm okay with that. And I think that's a really good message to leave with. It's just be yourself, no matter what happens. Who you are as a person, I think, is super cool. We need to reflect on that you don't need to change to become something you aren't, and somehow running away from something. I think that's a misnomer. I think you need to be more of who you are and look for all of those good traits that made you who you are. So with that, I want to sign off, and thanks so much for listening. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.